Namaste. My name is Nick. Thank you for tuning in today. Today's yoga practice will be in the style of Yin Yoga, in which we'll be holding just a few different poses for a couple of minutes each. And the theme for this class is decompression. Now, to allow for that to happen, aside from setting up the postures initially, I'm going to remain relatively quiet and give less cues and more room for decompression. So if you want to play some music in the background, that's not super distracting, that might be a good idea, but if you like silence, then I would say silence is the way to go. We're going to start in a seated position, so if you're not already there, go ahead and find your way there. And we'll begin with a couple rounds of Sitali Pranayama, or cooling breath. This breathing exercise is good for eliciting a parasympathetic nervous system response. What we'll be doing is inhaling with the tongue curled through the tongue, and then exhaling through the nose for about 6 seconds each on the inhale and the exhale. If you can't do this, another alternative would be to breathe in through the teeth like this. Otherwise, curl the tongue and breathe in like this. Let's begin with a deep breath first. Sit up tall, close your eyes, inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Curl the tongue, inhale. And through the nose, exhale. Breathe in through the tongue. Breathe out through the nose. Through the tongue, inhale. Through the nose, exhale. Through the tongue, inhale. Through the nose, exhale. Two more rounds. Through the tongue, inhale. Through the nose, exhale. Last one. Take a few easy breaths on your own. Keep your attention withdrawn to notice any effects from the breathing exercise. Now, if there's any intention that you'd like to bring with you to help establish this theme of decompression, check in with that now. Then go ahead and blink your eyes open, sitting facing the front of your yoga mat. Take your feet as wide as the mat. So the heels are a little wider than your hips. Hands will be on the floor back behind you. Drop the knees from side to side a bunch of times. Now you could keep your torso facing forward as you do this. You could rock the body with the legs. So as the knees point to the right, the torso will go along for the ride. You could even take a little rotation there. And feel, as you do this movement, just a bit of decompression in the hips, the lower back, maybe even all the way up into the upper back. And then the next time that your legs are over to the left, we're going to stay here. Slide the left knee so that it's in line with the left hip. And basically what you're trying to do here is have your left thigh parallel to the back of your mat. Right knee can stay bent, right leg can go straight if that feels more comfortable on the right knee. And then left leg can go straight if you want a little bit more intensity. Lean to the back of the mat so you shift all the way onto the outside of the left hip, and then lower the left elbow down so you're facing the back. Now for some of you, this might be where you stop using the right hand to help support your weight. Those of you that can lower the right elbow down to the floor. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can walk the elbows wider, lower your torso down. I like to rest the left ear down on the mat. It's a little bit easier on the neck. Feel for both of your legs heavy, even if they're not contacting the floor. Feel for your torso heavy, and right side of the torso especially spinning down. And then normally a Yin Yoga practice has a completely passive breath, but to further the theme of decompression, keep the breath a little slower than you would usually keep it. And feel like the inhales are giving you room in your body, and like the exhales are allowing you to relax into that room. We'll be here for a little bit now. About another 30 seconds here. When we exit the pose, slowly walk the right hand in if it's not already. Press up onto right hand, left elbow. And then press up, lifting the left elbow up. Turn to face towards the front of your mat and extend your right leg forward. As you do, you'll slide your hips back. Take the left foot to find your right inner thigh. Face your right leg, relax the foot, and fold down in the direction of the right foot without feeling like you need to get there. So if through more active yoga practices you've developed a habit of flexing or pointing your right foot, for now let go of that. And let the foot fall in whatever direction it naturally wants to fall. Feel upper arms heavy towards the floor without needing to get there. Feel head heavy, neck relaxed. And with the theme of decompression, feel like you're not going for a whole lot of sensation today. Unless, of course, decompression for you means having a lot of sensation to focus on, but for the most part, we're all doing a lot, maybe more than is necessary. So if you can, use this practice as an opportunity to do less. Feel stretch, focus on feeling. Breathe deeply. Now as we exit the pose, try to let your head be the last thing to come up. Walk the hands in, press down into the arms to bring the spine upright. Lift the chin up off the chest. Extend your left foot towards the front left corner of your mat, right foot to the front right corner of the mat. Hands go back behind you. Same two poses, second side. Drop the legs left and right a few times just to find center. Reorganize. Notice that there's probably a difference in feeling as you go from one side to the other. And in your noticing, be without judgment or criticism. Then drop the legs over to the right. Again, adjust your right thigh so that it's parallel to the back of the mat. If you want to change anything about your legs, like straightening them, you can do that. Lean over so that you're on the outside of your right hip. Right elbow comes to the floor. Maybe pausing here, or taking the left elbow around as well. Again, if you're at the point where this is plenty of sensation, feel free to stay as you are. Otherwise, you can walk your elbows wide, lay the chest down, right ear on the mat. And of course, you can go onto your forehead or your left ear. For me, going onto the opposite ear is just not comfortable in any sense of the word. Not that this practice should be comfortable, but not comfortable in a way that feels like it's benefiting. And so while in a yoga practice we're always striving to find our edge, it should come with some intelligence behind it as well. Wherever you've set the legs, let them be heavy. Feel torso, especially left side, spilling down towards the floor. And as much as possible, everything relaxes into the space. Last 30 seconds or so. Bring the left hands in, press into the left hand, lift up onto the right elbow, and then lift the right elbow up. Walk your hands in, turn to face the front of your mat. Adjust so that both hips are on the floor. Left leg goes straight. Right foot comes into the left inner thigh. And start to hinge and fold over the left leg. So again, if you have a tendency to flex the foot, just try to let go of that for today. Let there be a heaviness to your upper arms to help round the shoulders. forward and down. And then relax your neck. And train yourself to be okay with sensation and with resistance. Train yourself not to be overcome by it. The more that we can build a threshold and a tolerance to stress and difficulty, the less we need to decompress from it. Okay, then walk the hands in. Use the hands to press you upright. Extend both legs straight out in front of you. Lean back and give the feet a little bit of a shake. Okay, and then bend your knees and place the feet flat on the floor. Working to the shoulders next. Hands can be facing backwards if that's more friendly for your wrists and shoulders. If you can though, fingers will be facing forward. Slide your hips forward towards the feet so that the shoulders go forward past the hands. If you already feel stretch sensation here, pause. But if you want a little bit more, you can reach elbows back. And then very lightly think elbows magnetized towards one another. And if you want to make this a 2-for-1 special, you can bring the soles of the feet together, open the knees wide. But this might not feel like decompressing in any stretch of the word. And if this is a pretty challenging place, which I find for most people it is, use it as an opportunity to really build the tolerance to discomfort. And while you do that, remember that you should always practice with intelligence and use your best judgment to decide what's right for you and what isn't. Last few breaths. Okay, slide the feet forward to take some weight out of your hands. Lean the body forward, come up. And then whatever your hands naturally want to do or your shoulders want to do, take a moment to do that just to recalibrate. We'll meet laying on the stomach from here. Once you're settled, climb up onto your forearms. And we're going to be taking the right leg out to the right side of the mat. I'm going to show you on my left leg because you won't be able to see as well. Basically, we're taking the knee out in line with the hip. So the thigh is parallel to the front of the mat, similar to like what we did in that first posture earlier. So right leg goes out to the right side of the mat. And if this feels like plenty for you, then stay here. Otherwise, we're going to go left arm forward, right arm threads underneath, and essentially lay the chest down on top of the right bicep. I said chest, but really it's more like the upper chest, like where the collarbones are. You can use your left hand for a pillow. If you have a pillow or a block nearby, you could use that. And if this is too intense with the arm and the leg at the same time, you could always extend your right leg back behind you like this. Feel that the decompression now happens in the back of the right shoulder, where you can imagine your breath gliding up and down there. Last few breaths. And unthread the right arm. And if the right knee is not already out to the right, bring it out to the right. And you'll flip over to lay on your left-hand side. So I'll be facing away from you, but lay on your left side with your right knee in front of you. Take your right arm and stretch it towards the floor behind you just for a quick little counter stretch. Take a big breath in here through the nose. And then out of the mouth. Flip back around onto your stomach, and your left arm will go underneath you. Depending on how you were just a second ago, you might already be there. You'll slide the left knee out to the left. And of course, if that provides you with a little bit too much, then just extend the left leg back like me. Lay the body down. Allow for a settling. And once again, imagine like the breath is caressing the back of the left shoulder blade. And if you feel the resistance somewhere else in your body, then go to that place and put the breath there. And start to unthread the left arm. If the left knee is not already over there, slide the left knee out to the left. Lay on your right hand side so the hips stack, and then stretch the left arm back behind you for a counter stretch. Take a big breath in here. And through the mouth, exhale. And flip over to lay all the way on the back. Last posture of this practice will be banana pose. So take your, let's go with the left leg to the front left corner of the mat. Right leg is going to lift so that the ankles cross on top of one another. So the lower half of the body forms the bottom portion of a banana. Crunch the upper half of the body up and then curve your spine over to the left so that the head points to the back left corner of the mat. Now I like to just give the head a hammock with the hands. But if you want a little bit more, you could reach for your right wrist with your left hand and just a tiny bit pull over and then relax down. But if that feels a little crunchy in the shoulder, you can bend the elbow, or even grabbing opposite elbows is a nice place to go. Relax your right foot into your left foot so the legs feel like they're not doing any work. Lean your right hip a little bit to the right and relax the back of the right shoulder down. And again, slightly deeper than a natural breath. Imagine like the breath moves up and down the right side of the body. Take one more breath here. Move the upper body back through the middle of the mat. Take the right leg over to the left side of the mat. Shake the feet side to side a few times. And then the left foot over the right foot. Crunch the body up and over to the right. Again, let the left foot relax into the right so that the left leg is completely supported. You'll notice that it's very easy for the hips to kind of roll over to the right. So think of being heavy in your left hip. And then any arm position that you like. I'm going to take a slightly different arm position on this side. Just arms up overhead. This feels good without doing much for me, so. And then breathe up and down left side of the body. Feeling space between left armpit and left hip. Decompress. Last few breaths. Bring the upper body back through the middle. Take the left leg off to the left side of the mat. Again, move a couple of times, maybe the legs, maybe the hips, maybe even draw the knees into your chest. Our next posture will be Shavasana, where we close the practice. So either start making your way there now or do whatever else you need to do to prepare for that within the next 15 seconds. All right. Take up as much space as you need to feel supported. And deeply inhale through your nose. And out through your mouth. And in this posture, do the best that you can to eliminate any feeling of stretch or sensation so that you are more likely to relax. Bring all of your attention to your right foot without moving it. Just feel the right foot. Feel it start to get heavy. Feel the lower right leg, shin and calf. The right thigh and the right hip. Feel the left foot. The left calf. Thigh and the left hip. Feel the right hand. The right forearm. Upper arm. And right shoulder. Feel the left hand. Left forearm. Upper arm. And the left shoulder. Feel lower back, middle back, upper back, and the neck. Feel the belly. Feel the chest. Feel the throat and the face. Feel the scalp, the inner ears, the tongue and the back of the throat. Feel everywhere on the body at once. Feel the floor beneath the body. Feel the temperature of the air against your skin. Hear the sounds taking place around you. Hear the space in between sounds. And imagine an open field with a creek running through the middle of it. And imagine a forest crowded with trees and shrubbery. Imagine the beach. clear water, golden sands. Imagine a snow-covered mountaintop. And let all these images go. And allow your entire body to decompress. Now, if you have the time to do so, I would encourage you to stay longer. But if it's time for you to get up, start to move the body, fingers and toes. Slowly work your way up your arms and legs. Roll over to one side. Feel free to linger there. And eventually press yourself up to a seat. Bring the hands together at the heart, bowing the head. The divine light within me honors the same divine light within you. Be receptive to that light that lives deep within. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Namaste.